What do control arms actually do?
Hey guys, Suspension Geek here. I've been on the forums for the last couple weeks and on Facebook, and I've seen several people talk about they had control arms that fixed their camber game issues, and I'm just gonna kind of explain how that doesn't work. The control arm won't fix that. That's marketing, not geometry. Geometry is the only way to fix it, and what we mean by that is, so I took some chipboard and cut out some little samples for you, put some bolts in it so our pivot points are always the same, put a little spindle together, and we're gonna kind of walk through control arms and pivot points real fast. Super easy. So we got a perfect 90 line. We're gonna work off of that. Here's our suspension in place. This is a pretty simple upper lower arm, nice and even strength. This is our ground line across the bottom. This is really close to a first gen geometry. And what I mean by that is a lot of cars, if you've watched F1 cars, they have really good geometry. There's your tire on an F1 car, and here's your body. Your lower arm is always straight, just like it is on your Camaro. But the upper arm on an F1 car angles down, which is nice. That gives you a nice little line to find your roll center. Camaro is terrible. And why? Because here's your body in your Camaro, or your frame. Your lower arm is flat, but your upper arm actually has an incline in the wrong direction. You can see that same here. I got the exact same measurements and put them into the little model here so you can see. So as you go through your control arm movement, you can see that you end up with a positive camber game. You can see how poorly it actually works there. So I see a lot of guys that say, well, you know, my arms aren't straight, they don't match like that. So we're gonna go ahead and put a lower first gen Camaro style arm on here. You can see we didn't change anything, nothing to move. We're still on our center line. Our ground is still here. We're gonna push it up, and there you see the same exact, in fact, we'll put it right next to it, same exact terrible line. See them? And then you got these guys who say, well, you know, I've got the new control arms up top, and it's got a big high rise in it, and that allows me to fix the camber. So we went ahead and made that little arm for you guys too. There's the arm, raises up, go ahead and push it up, and did you see you still have the same terrible positive camber? I'm gonna put another line in there. It's getting pretty terrible. And just to show you how the model works, it doesn't seem to matter what kind of control arm you put in the top, because your pivot points never change. Here we got one made like a lightning bolt, goes in the exact same holes. You push it up, same terrible game. We got another one here we made. This one looks like Mickey Mouse or a snake. I'm not sure which one it looks like. Doesn't matter what it is. We're on our center line. We push it up. It's the same terrible game. Doesn't matter what you make the control arm look like lightning bolts, like a boomerang, like Mickey Mouse. If these 2 points don't change, nothing in your suspension changes. How you fix those points? One of the ways you could do it is a tall ball joint. You can add that to your stock spindle. Now we've raised that pivot point up. We can take our control arm, put it back on. Now if you look at it closely, you'll see that now we have an actual downward angle coming from the ball joint to the center of the car. So we're going to push that up, and you're going to see a real simple thing happens here. Look at that. We ended up with a neutral sweep or neutral camber game. And here, you push it out of the way, and you can see how much we gained just by moving the ball joint just that little bit. We didn't do anything spectacular. You watched it right there. Why that happens is because the ball joint changed pivot point, not enough to gain, but enough to alleviate the original problem. So in order to gain camber, this is why we always talk about tall spindles. There's your stock spindle. There's a tall spindle. We move the ball joint up a little bit more. We'll put it back on. All our markings are coming out the same, as you can see. We're back on our center line. Our ground is down below. We're going to push it right up. And here you can see the gain. You can see we're almost the same down here, and we've gained going up. That is why no arm can fix it. That's all marketing. Engineering is the only way it's going to happen to fix it. And the reason you want to do this is because you're trying to get your roll center and your center of gravity in the car so the car handles better. So now you want to know, well, why did I spend all my money to replace my control arm if it didn't fix my camber? Well, what the control arm will fix is caster, which allows you to have more steering. It's stiffer, so you get less deflection. You usually have better bushings in it. And you can put a tall ball joint in there with the correct angle so it puts no bind in that ball joint. And that little bit of ball joint with that upper arm, those two combined will help a lot of your situation you have. All right, that's a real quick answer for some of you guys out there. This is Suspension Geek. Watch us on Facebook, follow us there, and go see us at suspensiongeek.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.